If your child struggles with impulse control, completing classwork, and/or managing their screen time, then you are not alone. What if I told you that tracking small wins could be the key to building lasting habits? In this video, I'm going to show you a simple system to help students improve their executive function skills so that 1, they stay focused, 2, feel motivated, and 3, gain independence. Hi there, my name is Presh, and I share tips and tricks to help students and families feel less overwhelmed and more in control. A bit of context, I work with students every day to help them build better habits around self-regulation and completing their work. One of the tools that I use with students is a simple reflection and tracking system. So by the end of this video, you'll have a clear framework on how to coach your own child to build these better habits without having to worry so much about the constant nagging and frustration. Step 1, identify the behavior you want to address with your child. Is it their challenges managing their own screen time? Is it them blurting out their answers in class? Or is it some other challenge that their teachers have brought up with you? Whatever it is, make sure that that behavioral challenge is clear to you and clear to them. Step 2, create a scoring system with them on what success looks like for their challenge. For example, if your child is struggling to give back their iPad when you've asked them for it, maybe a score of 10 for that would be when you ask them, they give it back to you. And as you're developing this scoring system, they should have buy-in on what a score of 1, a score of 5, or a score of 10 looks like. Step 3, set up a consistent time to check in. This can be weekly, like Friday night dinners, or if you want it to be more frequent, it could be every other day when you pick them up from school. The check-in can be as simple as 1, asking them what score they would give themselves for this behavior that you're tracking, 2, asking them what worked well, and 3, asking them what could be better. And in that process of learning from them, you can quickly identify their small wins as well as the challenges that they're having with managing their behavioral challenges so that you can, 1, celebrate their wins, and 2, fine-tune parts of the ways they're addressing it to be better for them. Step 4, phase out when you see results. You might be at the stage when you see your child giving themselves scores of 8, 9, or 10 consistently for the past month or 2 months. If that's the case, and you're also seeing results with their growth, then you might want to check in with them and say something like, hey, I've noticed that you've improved so much in this challenge, and I want us to celebrate. Let's grab ice cream, or let's grab your favorite food. And after that, I want you to know that I'm going to stop checking in with you about these things because it looks like you're becoming independent. What do you think? By having that check out conversation with them, you're recognizing their growth, you're finding ways to celebrate them, and 3, you're making it clear that we're not going to have the same routine because I've seen growth. Let's go ahead and address some of the common questions regarding this process. First question, what if my kid doesn't want to do this reflection and tracking system with me? That's a possibility, and if that's the case, I encourage you to gamify the process, design the tracking sheet together, and if all else fails, negotiate with your kid. So with gamification, it can be something like, if you want to track their challenges managing their screen time, you might gamify it by saying, hey, if you're able to give your iPad to me and get a score of 10 3 days in a row, then we'll get your favorite ice cream. Sometimes external rewards might not be great to incentivize positive behavior, but if it gets the job done, then why not try it? And then the second part is designing the tracking sheet together. You can have a 30-minute activity where you print out a table that you've made on Google Sheet or Excel, or maybe you co-create the table together and they draw on it. Whatever kind of gives them more personalization, that will make them feel like this process is also something that they're a part of. And the last idea is to negotiate with your kid. You can say something like, hey, we'll just do this for 1 month, and after that, if it's really not working, we'll stop. But can I count on you to try checking in with me, giving yourself a score once a week, and we'll do this 4 times this month. And again, if it really doesn't work and we're fighting every time we do it, we won't do it. And we'll think of something else. What do you think? By giving them a set deadline and asking for their opinion, usually students, like, again, love being part of the solution, and and love kind of knowing what to expect. Okay, second question. What if my kid self-reports inaccurately? This definitely happens, and if that's the case, it's going to be important for you to give evidence of what actually happened. So with the screen time example, if they are giving themselves scores of 9 or 10, which means that they're giving back the iPad to you consistently when you ask them, and when reality strikes, what's actually happening is that when you ask them for their iPad back, they're running away and they're hiding from you and they're asking for extensions. Then you can tell them that I don't understand why you're giving yourself a score of 9 or 10 when in reality this is what happened. And after you give some evidence, then maybe the next thing you can do is to really write down with them what a score of 5 or a score of 10 looks like, and really put it in writing, put it on a wall or put in the refrigerator so that everyone knows that this is what that looks like. And then if they're struggling, have them look over this like paper that you created with them on what these like scores look like for their specific behavior. And the last common question is, what if I don't see progress? This is a tough question, and something that I would be wondering are, 1, how bought in is your child with this process? 2, how consistent are you all checking in about their particular behavior? And 3, how often are you celebrating their progress? I think the positive reinforcement, we see a lot of kids benefit from that in terms of wanting to try something that they're not as interested in. But if they are getting praise from it, they're getting some sort of reward, then it makes it more exciting for them. I think the other thought is that progress just takes time to build. So if you're expecting quick solutions, like you've done this for a whole week consistently and the same week is still the same outcome, then I think this is where you might have to extend the horizon of your expectations. So instead of thinking it'll take 1 month, reframing it to like seeing if it's working in 3 months time, or maybe extending it to like 6 months time. And if all else fails, this is when working with a third party like an executive function coach may be useful. Executive function coaches are trained and have direct experience in working with students who struggle with organization, planning, task management, time management, you name it. Sometimes because students, the truth of the matter is they might not want to get help from their parents, having that third party person who is designed to do this whole process with them consistently may be part of the solution. And if you're interested in learning more about that process, I have a video that you can check out in one of these corners called Should My Child Work with an Executive Function Coach, where I tackle more of these common questions and what executive function coaching actually looks like. Coaching your child to improve on challenging behaviors is difficult, but letting them go unaddressed and not providing a space to coach them and check in with them is even more difficult, because it can lead to bad habits that's difficult to reverse as you get older. To recap, if you want to set up a reflection and tracking system with your child to better coach them on their challenging behaviors, you can, step 1, identify the specific challenging behavior with your child. Step 2, create a scoring system with them on what success looks like. Step 3, set up a consistent routine to check in, to celebrate wins and address challenges. Step 4, phase out when you see results. With that, how do you currently address your child's challenging behaviors? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to share some thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace!